world-class professor. In fact, we took time to get in touch with him. And I'm happy that he's able to make it to this place, despite his busy schedule. Before I call on him to present his paper, let us know him, who he is, as brief as possible. Professor Sunday Olatunji. He has a AKA name, widely known as Adam. He's a distinguished global scholar, visionary academic leader, and pioneering researcher in the field of artificial intelligence and machine learning. He was born some few years ago. In fact, when I see the date here, I said, wow. He is a Nigerian, and he has risen to international prominence as one of the most respected world scientists of his generation, blending deep theoretical insights with practical applications that impact multiple sectors of human endeavor. Professor Olatunji is currently the pioneer dean of the Faculty of Computing at Adekunle Ajasin University, Akungba-Akoko, Nigeria, where he has been instrumental in laying the foundation for cutting-edge research, teaching, and curriculum development in computing disciplines. Prior to this appointment, he served for over a decade as a professor of artificial intelligence and machine learning at Imam Abdurrahman bin Faisal University, AIAU, in Saudi Arabia, where he held several influential positions, including head of the AI and Data Science Research Group and chairman of the curriculum unit of the AI department. He has also lectured and conducted research in prestigious institutions in Malaysia, Saudi Arabia, and Nigeria, contributing significantly to funded projects for global industry, leaders such as Saudi, Frank Aramco, and the rest of it. His significant contributions were recognized by the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, which granted him a premium residency or Saudi green card, a rare honor bestowed upon only the most exceptional foreign experts. He obtained his PhD in computer science from the University Technological in Malaysia, where he distinguished himself as the best graduating PhD student in 2012. A round of applause. A round of applause. Thank you. His academic path also includes an MSc in Information and Computer Science from King Fahd University of Petroleum and Minerals in Saudi Arabia, and then under a prestigious research assistantship and MSc at the University of Ibadan, Nigeria, and a BSc Hons in Computer Science from Ondo State University, Adekunle, now Ekiti State University. This strong academic pedigree forms the basis of the interdisciplinary and globally relevant research agenda. Professor Olatunji's contributions to scholarship are immense and widely cited. He has authored over 157 peer-reviewed works, including 180 journal articles in top-tier QI journals, 45 conference papers, 5 books and book chapters, and 4 theses. His research covers a wide spectrum of applications, including, but not limited to, 1. Healthcare AI. I don't want to mention all of the 2. Oil and gas, that's creating advanced models for reservoir characterization. 3. Energy systems and computational material science and pioneering research into renewable energy modeling. 4. Environmental science, applying hybrid AI systems to pollution analysis, sustainability, modeling, and climate-related challenges. 5. Finance and business, predicting bankruptcy risks and stock market fluctuations through advanced computational intelligence techniques. These are some of the things he has been able to do as a professor. And as a professor of AI research with pressing societal, environmental, and industrial challenges. His excellence has been recognized globally. Professor Olatunji has been listed in the top 2% of the world's most influential scientists by Stanford University 2021 to 2025 for 5 consecutive years and was named the #1 artificial intelligence researcher in Nigeria. A round of applause. And he was named by the National Universities Commission, NDC, gave the award in 2025. Further acknowledging its international impact beyond his research, he is deeply committed to mentorship and knowledge democratization. He has supervised numerous master's and PhD theses across 3 continents and developed curricula for next generation AI education. In 2020, he launched the free global initiative Machine Learning for All, which offers weekly online training sessions accessible worldwide, making AI education inclusive and barrier-free. Through these initiatives, he has nurtured and inspired a new generation of AI service scientists, engineers, and entrepreneurs. He is also an active member of several professional organizations, which I can't even mention, there are many, and his active participation in these bodies reflects his dedication to advancing computing and engineering knowledge globally. He is currently the president of the Institute of Cybersecurity Professionals of Nigeria. Fluent in English, Yoruba, and Arabic, Professor Olatunji embodies the rare combination of African rootedness and global reach. His career reflects not only academic brilliance, but also a deep passion for bridging theory with practice knowledge, with service and innovation with humanity's most urgent needs. He continues to serve as a mentor, educationist, thoughtful leader, and bridge builder between continents, leaving an enduring legacy in the evolving world of artificial intelligence. I can't continue to read all. On this note, it is my pleasure to invite Professor Olatunji. I want to get all the names together. Sunday Olusonya. A round of applause, please. If somebody should give it to him, if somebody should have assisted him, somebody should have assisted him. It's a real opportunity, sir, having you. Thank you, sir. Yesterday I told you there are a lot you are going to learn on AI intelligence. And I'm very sure you can't hear that better than the person who is standing. Thank you very much. You are welcome, sir.
Good morning, everybody. And permit me to stand on the established protocol while also just water. Okay. Permit to stand on the established protocol. However, it's always necessary to do the needful. The Director General of the Nigerian Law School, the Dean of Studies, distinguished directors and heads of law libraries, senior law librarians and information professionals, learned colleagues, ladies and gentlemen. I say good morning once again to everybody. It is both a privilege and a pleasure to stand before this distinguished gathering of professionals whose work forms one of the most critical foundations of legal education and legal practices. I wish to express my sincere appreciation to the Council of Legal Education and the leadership of the Nigerian Law School for this invitation. I'm particularly grateful to the Director General for recognizing that conversations about artificial intelligence are no longer conversations about the future, they are conversations about the present. So today I'll be asked to speak on artificial intelligence and the evolving professional roles of law librarians in fostering a culture of continuous learning. This topic is timely, very, very important, and perhaps even urgent. I really appreciate once again the organizers of this program, and I appreciate also the participants that are able to make it here. So, as always looking towards opportunity to bring knowledge of artificial intelligence to the people as much as possible. Because across the world, artificial intelligence is transforming how knowledge is created, assessed, analyzed, and disseminated. Legal education is not an exception. Law libraries are not an exception either. So law librarians are certainly not also an exception. So we all need to keep. Yet, despite all the excitement surrounding AI, I would like to begin with a simple proposition that the future of law librarianship is not threatened by artificial intelligence. It is being redefined by artificial intelligence. I can assure you that. It's not threatening your job, but it's redefining your job. And those who understand this distinction will not merely survive the AI era, but they will lead this particular era of AI. So as law librarians, we can't run away from technology. But I can assure you, it's not here to take your job. But those who know how to use AI as a librarian will take the job of those people who are not ready to cope with AI. Let me start with what I like to start. You can see this picture. In 2009, this is what we used to have. By 2019, here you have a man trying to do coverage using an helicopter. By 2019, we have drone that can possibly do the coverage better without the risk of somebody. This guy has a risk of possibly falling down. He may also fall on the person that is celebrating. That is double trouble. However, 10 years after, you have drone that can possibly do the work better, cheaper, with all safety. Human life will not be at risk. However, I know what comes to our mind is, oh, this woman is going to lose his job. This is what everybody quickly think about. Am I going to lose my job to AI? No. I see positive thing there. You see, this guy is an expert in coverage. He's in better position to become a drone programmer for covering events. If he decides to quickly try to understand what is AI, become AI-enabled, he can purchase several drones at cheaper rates. He could possibly before, you can only have one event at a time. With drone technology, he can actually get like 10 or more events simultaneously. You see that in the control room here in Abuja. He's controlling drone in Nasarawa, in Ondo State, different parts of the country simultaneously, and they are reporting all the coverages to his system in front of him. It means if he embraces AI, he can make more money, he becomes more popular. He's not losing his job, he's making his job even more better. But if he's the kind that say, I don't like this AI, no, I must stick with this helicopter. Who is going to come and hire a helicopter for just coverage? It's too costly. Now, as we are here, we want to make an aerial view of this place. A helicopter cannot fly into this hall, but the drone can fly inside the hall and take different pictures or videos as we want. Therefore, if you refuse to embrace AI, there's no point saying people who are using it will replace him automatically. We want people who can cover us anywhere we are. Even in my office, I want you to fly into my office and cover my office from the area view. That is the stark reality. So when you see this, don't think quickly that this guy is going to lose his job. Oh, this AI is not good. No, he will only lose his job if he ignores AI. Those that decided to take up AI will replace him ultimately. And this is the scenario that is applicable elsewhere. So, AI cannot replace you. We are coming there as law librarians. I never knew law librarians are so important until I started this research and presenting. You see, we just say librarian, library. So important, I was discussing with my friend by this time, that I never knew that law librarians are so important. That they are the real power behind legal practice, legal system. And welcome you all again and congratulate for the wonderful work you are actually doing. So a law librarian that refuses to know what is AI, how can I use AI to make my work better, will be replaced by the one that knows how to do that. But that computer will replace you, forget about that. AI will not replace you. We always need humanity. That was why in January 30th this year, I presented my inaugural lecture. It was about symbiosis of man and machine. AI and human beings need to work together to make it successful. If you remove AI, if you remove human being, AI will perform worst. Maybe put you into trouble after some time. You use AI to cite cases and you go to lock up, you find out all what you are citing, they are not existing. You'll be in trouble. However, you use it as like an assistant. Human being without AI in this technology age, you'll be too slow. You are not able to meet up with your client demands. But you use AI as your assistant, you can do what is impossible in the last few years within few minutes. So there has to be a symbiosis, a beneficial relationship between the AI and the law librarian. Before I move forward, I always remind people about this. Why you can no longer ignore AI and machine learning. It's a 3-series videos I made in my weekly learning circuit, as mentioned during the citation. Every Saturday, 7:30 to 8:30 Nigerian time, I conduct AI and machine learning training for people for free as my own little contribution to the society. So you can check that. It's a 3-part video, part 1, part 2, part 3. The material will be made available for you by the organizer. Check out the videos. It details why you can no longer ignore artificial intelligence and machine learning. In fact, ignoring it is at someone's own peril. It's as serious as that. So AI and the law librarians. So much introduction will be made for us. We acknowledge everything has been taken care of. The profession is being redefined, not replaced. So the central proposition for the future of law librarianship. The future of law librarianship is not threatened by artificial intelligence. It is being redefined by it. Those who understand the difference will not merely survive, they will lead a revolution. In leadership, where the profession can shape it, change rather than wait for it. You can shape the change. You can be part of those people that will shape the way AI will affect your profession if you key in quickly. Otherwise, you wait for it, it may be too late. New tools demand new skills, judgment, and also confidence. And there are a lot of opportunities. So AI creates room for wider reach, deeper service, and stronger impact. So AI plus librarian is what I call the fusion. The collaboration between law librarian and artificial intelligence is the future we're talking about. And why the strongest model is partnership, not substitution. This is the position I've been taking and the current position. It is not a matter of substitution. That AI will substitute you. No. You can partner together and collaborate and provide better services to the law practice. Just as of writing down here yesterday, latest news came up that Ford, one of the biggest automobile industry, decided to replace their quality control engineers with artificial intelligence systems. That was just yesterday I was reading. And I said, yeah, this is what I've been preaching. You see, now after a few months, they realized there are serious quality problems. They started recalling their quality engineers. That AI is as good as what you train it to do. And that's what we call garbage in, garbage out. There's a mistake there, it's going to repeat it. There is bias. So many other things. Now they're bringing back their experts. This is what I'm saying. Don't use AI to replace human beings, you're going to create trouble. Let them partner together to work making it better. And that is why I made that intellectual lecture as symbiosis of mind and machine. The development of any nation that will use AI successfully will have to be that of symbiosis, collaboration between human being and the machine, not a replacement. Replacement may spell disaster. Imagine those cars that have been produced using the AI car, lot of recall. They are going to start recalling those vehicles back so that they can do the corrective measure. Someone says, hey, maybe the engineer will refuse to collaborate now to train because they fear that when we train it very well, they will kick us out. You don't need to kick out your engineer. Let it make use of AI because of the culture. Again, strongly I recommend those 2-3 videos why you can no longer ignore here. Make sure you read it. A lot of expositions I made there. Things that ordinarily is not possible for a human being to know. Your AI assistant will let you know so that you, before problem happens, you can be able to prevent it. And as they say, prevention is better than care. So we set the agenda, understanding AI, the historical role and enduring human advantage, the Nigerian legal knowledge context. Then I proposed a framework for you, the law librarians. Took my time, came up with a framework when I realized how important you are in the law profession. 5 evolving professional roles, the new roles that are coming out because of this reality of the framework. The Law Library of 2030 and continuous learning, practical strategy for immediate action and the leadership, and then the conclusion. AI beyond the hype. Understand AI beyond the hype. Before discussing evolving professional roles, we must first understand what AI actually is. As someone who has spent decades researching machine learning, neural networks, and intelligence systems, I often encounter 3 major misconceptions, 3 major mistakes people are making about AI. Number 1, misconception number 1. AI thinks like a human being. AI thinks like a human being. This is false, categorical false. Modern AI systems, particularly large language models, LLMs, do not reason like lawyers, judges, or librarians. They generate responses by identifying statistical patterns in vast amount of text, predicting likely sequences of words based on prior examples. They do not possess legal judgment. They do not understand justice. They do not appreciate precedent. And they do not possess wisdom. Those remain uniquely human capabilities that law librarians themselves can offer. So when you kick human beings aside and put AI in place, we are creating trouble. Misconception number 2. AI is always correct. AI is always correct. AI systems can confidently generate inaccurate results. In fact, this misconception 2 is perhaps the most dangerous misconception, when you assume that AI is always correct. It can generate inaccurate information, fictitious authorities, fabricated references and citations, misleading legal interpretation. Researchers refer to this phenomenon hallucination. Hallucination. Human beings can hallucinate. You know that? Just saying things that are not even existing. It could be due to old age. It could be due to some. If you have any serious typhoid fever that is not well treated, you can start saying things that is not correct. That is hallucination. It has been established that AI systems, especially the LLM, large language models, hallucinate. And I am not surprised that it hallucinates, because AI system is expected to work in a specific domain ordinarily. When I build a model to predict diabetes for me, it should be able to only be used for diabetes prediction. I can't use for hypertension prediction. But large language model, you want it to do everything. You are forcing it to go beyond its capacity. That's why sometimes start generating what is not existing. So a machine can sound authoritative while being completely wrong. It sounds so authoritative, nicely written, but it is wrong. For legal research, that is a serious risk. A fabricated precedent is not merely an academic error, it can undermine legal reasoning and professional credibility. Imagine going to a law court and all your citations are found to be fake. What are we going to call that? It's not just academic error, it's a very huge mistake that people can make. So don't think that's always correct. AI eliminate, another misconception number 3, AI eliminate the need for human experts. Again, false. It's not correct. The more powerful AI becomes, the more valuable expert human oversight becomes. The more powerful AI becomes, the more we need human expert to have an oversight of whatever it does. AI can generate information, it cannot reliably validate the information. AI can retrieve text, it cannot reliably determine the legal significance of the text. AI can summarize, it cannot replace professional judgment. Indeed, I often tell my students, the most dangerous person in the legal information ecosystem is not the person who ignores AI, it is the person who trusts AI blindly. You are the most dangerous legal practitioner if you trust AI blindly. You do not carry out your own human oversight on whatever AI helped you or assisted you to do. AI should be an assistant to you. You are more professional. You are the best person to do the job. But to make it faster, it does it for you, and then you can take over from there. To think that you can eliminate your own oversight, I give an example of recent. A very popular editorial writer used to write editorial for a lot of people worldwide. People click and read. He was recently introduced to AI, and then he started using AI. But he didn't follow this rule. Be careful. Use your brain with AI. He trusted AI, so he wrote the nice article. He had been writing good article to people so much, they wrote on their website to read the editorial. He started new, and then he just copied what the AI wrote for him and pasted it into the system. You see, you can, for example, you can use it to make this easy for you. I'll tell you, I used to look at the system. Whenever there's a kind of an event, it takes like sometimes a week before the new script were able to generate news media for me. Say, are you aware of what AI can do for you? Just give the AI that particular video. It can do the quick summary of what it has done. I want it poetic way. I want it narrative way. It will generate for you. You pick it as professional news reporter and read and correct. I don't like this. It's not correct. You correct it because you are the professional. It makes it faster for you to quickly generate the text of what you have spoken. But don't rely on it. But that guy relied on it. What happened? He copy-pasted what AI developed and pasted on his editorial column and published it. The last paragraph of the word is, if you want me to write it in a poetic way, I can do it for you. You see, he didn't even bother to read what is pasted to the other side. This is what I said. The most dangerous person is the one that trusts AI totally and ignores it. It is the person who trusts AI blindly. This is one of the points I want us to go home with. That the most dangerous person in the legal information ecosystem is not the person who ignores AI, it is the person who trusts AI blindly. Yeah. We have several cases because of our time that have demonstrated that we can't afford to do that. For those people, the moment they started using AI to quickly generate the text, they read it as professional, within a few hours, we were able to release their news to the people. Something they did 1 week before, within hours, it was getting ready. But they were still doing it as what? As professionals. You see, sometimes when you work with your AI assistant, go to the entire world, generate things about this thing, tell you what has been happening. No, it's not. This is wrong. This is not fine. This is very bad. Oh, thank you, Prof. You are right. I'm wrong. I will rewrite now. This is the way you should use AI. You are the professional. They train the model to do what it's doing for you. How can you rely on the machine that you have been trained? We call it garbage in, garbage out. If there's a mistake, as human being, you detect it. You even correct it. It will undergo further training from you. When it sees that you are not somebody that it just gives you anything and you accept, you will be careful next time what it gives to you. Because you know that you are going to criticize whatever is done. This is not the way to do it. This is the best way to approach it. Oh, thank you, Prof. Thank you. I'm going to do better. Again, you criticize it. And sometimes also, you use even multiple. When you use one, let another one check for you. Like hallucination issue we're going to mention. We're coming back to it. Now, so there are so many things that what AI cannot do: legal judgment, ethical reasoning, contextual interpretation, authority verification, human mentorship, and the final one is blind trust in AI is the real danger. The real danger is not ignoring AI, but trusting it blind. A big take home for every one of us. Now, the historical role of law librarians. Historical role of law librarians. Before discussing the future, let us acknowledge the past. Long before artificial intelligence emerged, law librarians were already engaged in a sophisticated form of intelligence management. Queen 2016. Every catalog, every index, every digest, every classification scheme, and every bibliography, every reference service, all represented systematic effort to organize knowledge and make information discoverable. In many respects, law librarians pioneered the very principles upon which modern information retrieval systems are built. So the mission has always been the same: connecting people with trustworthy knowledge. That is, technology has changed now. All the method we used to use before, AI is now a new method. How are you going to integrate it into your own work as a law librarian? So the mission has not changed, but the technology kept changing. So yesterday, librarians guided researchers through chats. Today, they guide researchers through databases. Tomorrow, they will guide researchers through intelligent systems. So the medium changes while the mission remains the same. The unique human advantages of law librarians. The human advantages of law librarians. The artificial intelligence excels in speed of operation. What 50 people, what 1,000 people cannot do in 1 month, AI will do within a few seconds. That is what advantage you bring on the table. It excels in scale, it excels in pattern recognition, but there are critical domains where human expertise remain indispensable. One, authority verification. Authority verification. Authority verification. AI law librarians understand the differences between binding authority and persuasive authority. Ratio descendant and opita dictum. Valid precedent and overturned precedent. These are known very well to law librarians. AI often struggles with these distinctions. So when you rely on AI, it may mess you up in your presentation day. So you have to see what it has done for you and use your own professional capability to make it even better. Contextual knowledge. Law librarians understand local legal realities. They know where difficult materials can be found, which sources are most authoritative, which databases are reliable, which gaps exist in available records. This knowledge is rarely captured by algorithms. So we will always need you. The knowledge is there with you. 3 is ethical judgment. Ethical judgment. AI has no ethical compass. It cannot evaluate fairness. It cannot consider societal consequences. And it cannot balance competing values. Human professionals must perform that role. In fact, as a matter of fact, there was a system that was trained to recognize people, human beings. However, it was trained to recognize a particular tribe, a particular group of people. Like the light-skinned people. When somebody with dark skin comes around, he doesn't recognize. He now put up a mask and cover, and it was able to recognize. They realized the system was biased. During the training, they refused to use samples from a particular group of people. They train on one set of people. It always recognizes those people. Anybody from the other side, it just recognizes. Closer to the law. We want to be able to have a system that does not wait for somebody to commit a crime. We want a system that can predict that, oh, somebody may commit crime. We call it proactive security system. When you want to do that, you have to make sure that you have representative data from every tribe, from your country. Otherwise, if you train only bad people from one tribe, you use it for training. Good people from the other tribe, you use it for training. It will always recognize these people as bad and the other people as what? As good. That is bias. AI will not complain because this is what you give to it. Garbage in, garbage out. But you as human being, you need to insist. No, the data you are giving to me is not okay. Bring this data, bring me from every tribe, bad people, I want their data. From every tribe, I want the data of the good people. When I train my system, you should not be biased towards any tribe. That is the role of human being. If you kick away human being, AI will not be able to perform this role. Teaching and mentorship. A machine can answer a question. A librarian teaches a researcher how to ask a better question. March 2015. So the difference is profound. Education is not merely information transfer, it is intellectual development. And that remains a fundamentally human activity. Machine can answer a question, but to frame the question becomes that of human being. The professor of AI on analytics, he said, if he's given 1 minute, that you need to ask a question that may save his life. He will spend the first 55 minutes out of 60 to frame the question. Because once you ask the right question, getting the answer is not a problem. That's why AI can help you. But to frame the question, we need the law librarians to make sure we are asking the right questions. So, in our Nigerian context, there are key challenges. You have the access and infrastructure issue. How many people have access to this? The fragmented records and cost of even implementations. Preserving customary law system. See, customary law is vital to Nigerian legal identity, yet much of it remains locally held, inconsistently recorded, or difficult to preserve and retrieve at scale. These challenges are real when it comes to this. But then, a lot of things can be done to make it better. So the Nigerian context, section 4. Why this conversation matters now in Nigerian context. Although AI is a global phenomenon, our response must be local. Nigeria faces unique challenges and opportunities. Ajasin 2020. Many institutions continue to struggle with incomplete digitization of legal resources, limited access to premium databases, fragmented archival collections, preservation of customary law materials, accessibility of unreported judgments, and uneven technological infrastructure. Osinolu Adebayo 2021. At the same time, Nigeria possesses enormous potential. Our universities are there, our law faculties, our libraries, our courts, our legal archives collectively represent one of the richest repositories of legal knowledge on the African continent. Because of our population, our wider population, you know the number of courts we have compared to smaller countries. And that's why at the Big Data Africa conference recently in Futa, the fact is very clear. The world is looking up to Africa We are data rich, but we need to bring out insight from our data. We'll come back to this also. So the future of legal AI in Nigeria will not be determined solely by technology companies in Silicon Valley. It will be determined by how effectively Nigerian institutions preserve, digitize, organize, and curate Nigerian legal knowledge. Production 2025. And law librarians are central to that mission. They are central to that mission. Very, very important for us to realize the importance, the need for us, the value of law librarians cannot be overemphasized. The fragmented record is there, preserving customary law. See, we have rich national repository from holdings to strategy. Librarians enable readiness, and they're able to do what we want to do. Now, the next thing is a conceptual framework for AI-enabled law librarianship. A conceptual framework. After the literature side and all of that, some of what we're presenting here, especially before this framework, were all a matter of research. That's why you can see the last statement I made, that it will be determined by how effectively Nigerian institutions preserve, digitize, organize, and create Nigerian legal knowledge. Production 2025. They are academic resources that back up all this system. Now let's move to the proposal I have for you, that is the conceptual framework for AI-enabled law librarianship. We want you to be AI-enabled. That will propose a framework for you. Your work is not going to be taken, you are even becoming more important now. There are some things that are not part of your work before that we are adding to your work. And it's only you, as law librarians, that can carry them out effectively. We said the transformation of law librarianship in the age of artificial intelligence requires a shift from traditional custodianship towards a model of AI-enabled professional leadership. Based on the preceding discussion, I propose the AI-Enabled Law Librarianship Framework, which I call the AILLF for short. This framework conceptualizes the modern law librarian as occupying 5 interrelated professional roles. So we are bringing in 5 roles, new roles for the law librarians that collectively support responsible AI utilization and adoption at scale, continuous learning, and trustworthy legal knowledge management. These roles are not independent functions. They are mutually reinforcing competencies that operate within a culture of continuous professional development. Together, they position the law librarians as a critical intermediary between the emerging AI technologies and the legal information ecosystem. Here, if you can see there, we have the modern law librarian framework. At the center, you have the modern law librarian. You have a prompt specialist. You can be a law librarian now a prompt specialist. We have prompt engineering in AI. That is, which question, how will you frame your question for the AI? You ask, we are looking for the same information. I will give the task to 3 people. The one that is able to write the right question for the AI will get the better results. So we call them prompt engineers. So we are creating prompt specialists from the law librarians. That whenever you need anything, he or she knows how to frame the question, because the right question is the most important. Not getting the answer, but writing the right question will solve every problem. Second is verification architect. Verification architects is somebody that's going to be in charge of verifying whatever we have done with the AI. Then we have the hybrid learning curator. Then we have the ethical auditor. The ethical auditor that will be in charge of this system, and the legal data steward. All these put together create the continuous learning and professional development, which now formulates into responsible AI adoption in legal education. It's an academic framework, so it's never been proposed before. So we look at it, we analyze it, and we see the way it goes. This is the figure. I think it speaks for itself. At the center is the modern law librarian. Radiating from the center are 5 roles: the legal AI prompt specialist, verification architect, curator of hybrid learning, ethical auditor of AI systems, legal data steward. These roles are surrounded by a continuous loop, continuous learning and professional development. There has to be continuous learning as you move. Continuous learning has to be ensured. And at the base of the entire framework is the goal: responsible AI adoption in legal education. Responsible AI adoption. You cannot just adopt AI at random. It has to be a responsible one. You don't want to be a means of sending the wrong person to the gado because you have used AI irresponsibly. So we want to make sure you have done your homework and the writing is being recommended to the judge. The framework suggests that future law librarianship will be defined not merely by access to information resources, but by the ability to guide, verify, evaluate, curate, and steward AI-enabled knowledge systems. As we move towards the AI-enabled knowledge, we need law librarians also to have these 5 characteristics. You may be all the 5, if you are so versatile. You may be specialist in one of them, depending on the system that you have. And we can train people to be able to handle it. But this is where the world is going. It means we're creating, even in addition to the role you are having, new roles are coming up for you. That's why when people say AI will lead to lack of job, I say AI creating more jobs for people. The reality, some people will lose their job, and those are people who ignore AI. But so many roles are being created by artificial intelligence in reality of what we see worldwide. So we said the framework lucky, already explained that. We have the logic of the framework. It's one professional system. The law librarian are as the strategic intermediary between AI and the legal knowledge systems. Around that center, you have 5 roles that reinforce one another in practice and support continual professional development. We will sustain the model and also responsible AI adoption in legal education. Why do they hold together? The role reinforces each other. You see the roles, they reinforce each other. If you are this, you can also be this, or you can also do the other ones. Learning sustained practice. Ethics shape every decision. Ethics is very, very important. Adoption stays mission aligned. What this delivers for us is not a checklist of isolated tasks. It is a practical operating model for librarians who must guide selection, prompting, verification, teaching, governance, and steward at the same time. So your role is becoming even bigger than what we used to have. So anybody who say that the law librarians has no role in the age of AI is telling that your roles are even expanded to it. So let us embrace AI. The fear of AI is not an option. We need to embrace it ethically and responsibly so that we can all take the advantage while avoiding the problem. But I always believe AI is so powerful. If the wrong people use it, it can perpetrate evil at scale. And then another thing I used to say is the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for the good people to do nothing. So the good ones with moral standard come in, assist the system to do the right thing. If we ignore it, then others will use it for the negative aspect that we don't want. So the trusted law librarians who have always been highly respected, again, like I said, I got to know who law librarians are when I was researching my paper. So once again, thank you very much for the wonderful work you are all doing to the law profession. Now, section 6. 5 evolving professional roles of the modern law librarians. The 5 professional roles. Well, the AI era does not eliminate professional relevance. It expands professional relevance. Let me now elaborate on each of the 5 roles that I propose in my framework. Role 1, the legal AI prompt specialist. Most students and many academics do not know how to communicate effectively with AI systems Poor questions produce poor answers. Law librarians can become institutional experts in prompt design. White et al. 2023. By teaching effective prompting strategies, librarians help users obtain more accurate, transparent, and verifiable outputs. You can add that to what we're going to be teaching our students. Prompt engineering. Which kind of prompt do you give to your AI? It's garbage in, garbage out. If you give the right prompt, you get the right thing. You give a wrong prompt, you get the wrong answer. Rule number 2, the verification architect. Every AI-generated legal output should undergo validation. Law librarians can design verification frameworks that include source authentication, citation verification, precedent validation, currency checks, and cross-jurisdictional comparison. Donahue 2024. Verification has always been a librarian's strength. AI simply create a new arena in which to amplify that your professional capacity. So help us to verify what your AI is given is reasonable. Rule number 3, the curator of hybrid learning. The future is neither fully traditional nor fully automated. It is hybrid. An effective learning pathway might involve AI-assisted exploration, librarian-guided verification. You use AI to explore, librarian will verify what your AI is bringing out and make feedback. Database validation and scholarly reflection. Keynote et al. 2020. In this model, librarians become architects of learning experiences rather than custodians of collection alone. They are not just going to be custodians of collection alone, they become architects of learning experiences. And should also get involved in training the student more. Rule number 4, the ethical auditor of AI system. You are becoming the auditor of AI system. Every AI tool carries assumptions. Every data set contains biases. Every algorithm reflects design choices. Noble 2018. I can give an example. If you train your model with wrong data, with biased data, the system will work in the wrong way. It will always give a wrong judgment. Law librarians can help institutions evaluate transparency, reliability, jurisdictional relevance, inclusiveness, and ethical compliance. Makada, Florida, 2021. This role will become increasingly important as AI adoption accelerates. As we accelerate the adoption of AI in legal law librarian profession, then the more the need for this. And last but not least, rule number 5. Rule number 5. Data is the fuel of AI. That is the legal data steward. Data is the fuel of artificial intelligence. Libraries processes enormous stores of valuable legal data. By partnering with computing departments, law faculties, and research centers, librarians can help build institutional repositories, digital legal archives, searchable judgment collection, and locally relevant AI knowledge bases. This transforms librarians from users of AI into contributors to AI innovation. You have the resources. Data here with you. Help us curate it as a legal data steward. Africa is not only data rich, but insight poor, because we are not using our data to generate insight. So this is where we are looking into the law librarians to help us be the data steward. This is very, very important as we move in the era of artificial intelligence. Next, we go to what we call the Law Library of 2030. The Future Law Library, a vision for 2030. Let us imagine the Law Library of 2030, IFLA 2021. It will still contain books, but it will also contain intelligent search assistants, AI-powered research platforms, institutional repositories, digital legal archives, knowledge graphs, legal analytics dashboards, collaborative learning spaces, virtual research support services, Law Library of Congress 2023. The future AI library will not be measured primarily by the number of books on its shelves. It will be measured by how effectively it connects people with the trustworthy legal knowledge. This is what we are looking for in the 2030 vision. In that vision, librarians become knowledge navigators, digital curators, AI literacy trainers, training the law professionals on how to use AI in their legal system. Learning facilitators, we also facilitate learning for the people, and innovation partners. Since we cannot build AI system without enough data, and the data is in your chart, you own the data. You have the repository of law knowledge. Providing it, you become innovation partners. That future is already beginning. So, as we have the law assistant, the digital archive, the knowledge graph, analytic dashboard. A lot of them that will provide a lot of opportunity for us as law librarians. Among what we can look into, how law librarians can benefit from the data analytics. Here we talk about analytic dashboards. This is an area of AI that I believe law librarians also can tap into. Imagine having a usage analytics, the way people are using material resources, which resources are people looking for more. You can have an idea what they will request next, and you are making it available before they even arrive. We call it proactive law librarianship. That is using analytics. It is not magic, it is science. When you have enough data of the number of people that are visiting your lab, your library, you'll be able to know who is going to come next. When is he going to come? How many people will visit us in a day? What request am I going to get? You get yourself prepared before the request arrives your table. Courtesy of data analytics. Research trends. You can support the emerging legal topics by showing how query patterns and content use reveal new areas of interest. Because now you position yourself as an authority in this area, you can have an idea of where is the trend. Every day in my field, research, every day research is coming up. I know in legal practice also, it's not also different. You have new idea coming every day. As a law librarian, you are ahead of everybody. You already know the analyst tells you this is going to be what people are going to be looking for. You go ahead in providing what is responsible. User behavior. Imagine having to be able to improve your guide based on the feedback from people. See, you have an idea of people are going to show you the search and support pattern that people are going to have. When Facebook posts people online, and you have to think on Facebook, they use it to be able to know what you are going to click. Sometimes when you go online, you start typing. As you are typing, something is making suggestion for you what you want to type. You must have experienced it before. It's not by accident. That is analytics. Based on people in your geographical location, what they are typing is suggesting for you. If you go to another country to type, what is going to suggest for you in Nigeria will be different from what we suggest for you there. Because you use the geographical location to map what people here are interested in. When you go online to shop, to buy chips, people bought this also, buy this. They start making suggestions for you. The same way, also, the law librarian, you can be able to have an idea of your user behavior, what they are going to request, are they going to be happy or otherwise. Then we have the predictive insight. We want to forecast resource demand by showing how historical usage pattern. What are the demands that people usually make? Which one do they make most? So you can order for more if there is need for it, because you know what they are going to request for. All this has become very possible with data analytics in AI. Now, moving further, Section 8, fostering a culture of continuous learning. Fostering a culture of continuous learning. Now let us return to a central theme of this conference, continuous learning, because it's part of the theme of my topic. In the AI era, continuous learning is no longer optional, it is essential. Fuller et al. 2022. The modern law librarian must continually develop competencies in artificial intelligence, like literary, digital scholarship, information ethics, data management, legal analytics, digital preservation, research technologies, emerging legal information systems. So continuous learning is going to be a must, especially with the 5 roles we proposed and created for law librarians. To do that, AI changes quickly. As AI professor, you have to update yourself on a regular basis. What is the latest? The one you used last few months, few weeks, may not be what is involved. So the professional who stop learning today risks becoming irrelevant tomorrow. But the professional who embraces lifelong learning becomes indispensable. Continuous learning must move beyond occasional workshops. It has to be continuous. You have to continuously update yourself, especially as you integrate AI into your field of profession. So, continuous learning must now become habitual, collaborative, technology enabled. You can learn from anywhere. Workshop can take place online, institutionally supported. Most importantly, it must become part of professional identity. Original 1998 must become part of your professional identity. We want to learn more because this field is changing and we have to be relevant. And we need you to be in that particular field to ensure ethical utilization. And practical strategies for immediate implementation. Practical strategy for immediate implementation. I call it for practical initiative that must immediately implement. Number 1. Quickly allow me to suggest one practical initiative that we need to look into. Number 1 is hallucination world. The hallucination world. Create a space where students and staff document AI-generated inaccuracies. We need to have a space where people will curate a lot of inaccuracies. It affects everybody that uses AI. We want to make sure it doesn't embarrass you. It's a reality. Yeah. So, AI-generated inaccuracies ensure that the world is framed as a shared learning resource rather than a source of embarrassment or public criticism. We want to know how many mistakes you have made or how many ways AI has misled you. Don't shame people. No, not to criticize them. But the objective is not to expose mistakes, but to develop collective awareness of AI limitations. Let people know, as law librarians, that hey, this AI, they are powerful, but there's a limitation to it. One of it is hallucination. Discuss lessons learned regularly. This promotes critical thinking, responsible AI utilization, and a culture of continuous improvement. Well, sometimes we pretend as if it doesn't happen, but it's happening. People keep falling into that particular mistake. Create awareness for it. Learn together and see what is the way out. When you use an AI system to generate something for you, and you have checked it as a law librarian, get another AI system to help you also double check it. Maybe it's also hallucinating. The hallucination of this one, maybe will be solved by this one. That's why we call something hybrid system or ensemble model in AI. It's the best so far. We have crowd, many models, we let them combine together to solve problem for us. By so doing, mistake of number 1 will be cancelled by number 2. Mistake number 2 will be cancelled by number 3. You can achieve 100% accuracy. 2. Weekly AI literacy clinics. Dedicate 1 hour weekly to demonstrate AI strengths, AI limitations, verification techniques, and responsible usage practices. This is very, very important to the librarians, so that together we create the awareness. It's not just coming, it's already happening elsewhere, and we cannot afford to be left behind. Again, that's why I refer us to that 3 series videos, why you can no longer ignore AI. Number 3, dual track research guides. Present research methods in 2 parallel columns, traditional approach and AI-assisted approach. This promotes informed choice rather than blind adoption. You can be able to compare, is this the best, or we need to look into this system. Number 4, faculty librarian innovation projects. Partner with lecturers to design assignments, require both AI usage and librarian consultation. This reinforces critical evaluation skills in our students and also in us, so that they are doing practical consulting, let them also consult, bring them back to you, and then you can provide the necessary guide for them. But if you don't prefer guide, some of the students are aware of AI. If you don't train them to use it ethically, they will use it in a bad way. So we must not hide that it's not happening. It is happening. There was a country when AI started, when ChatGPT started, they blocked it from that country. And their children started using VPN, virtual private network, to bypass the blockade, to use it. Then the father said, okay, I think it's better we make it legal, and then we can put it, check and balance. Some universities have done that. And university has just adopted the AI policy last week. See? So what is acceptable? You have to have a paper at the back of your paper that will declare how you use AI, what level, what percentage, what did you use it for? Did you do a critical analysis after you use it? You declare it. And you are found wanting, you'll be referred back to the disciplinary committee. So don't add as if it's not happening. Students are already using it, but we need to provide guidance for them to use it ethically. Towards the end of our presentation, Section 10, a call to leadership. A call to leadership. The question is not whether AI will shape law libraries. The question is who will lead the change. For sure, it's going to change. Who will lead the change? Ladies and gentlemen, every technological revolution creates two groups: those who adapt and those who hesitate. History consistently rewards the former. See, history consistently rewards those who adapt. Law librarians are uniquely positioned to lead the responsible integration of AI into legal education. You understand information, you understand research, you understand knowledge organization, and you understand scholarly integrity. These competencies are precisely what AI era requires. They are all in you. You have them already. The question is not whether AI will enter our law libraries. It has already entered. The question is whether librarians will lead that transformation or merely react to it. I believe you should lead this particular unique opportunity. In conclusion, from custodian of legal knowledge to custodian of trustworthy AI. From custodian of legal knowledge to custodian of trustworthy AI. You know, I didn't say AI. Trustworthy AI. You have always been the custodian of the legal knowledge. As I conclude, permit me to leave you with this reflection. For generations, law librarians have preserved the memory of the legal profession. You have protected knowledge, you have guided scholarship, you have strengthened legal education, and you have supported justice. In the age of artificial intelligence, your mission remains unchanged. What changes are the tools for carrying out that unique mission. Yesterday, you guided researchers through shelves. Today, you guide them through databases. Tomorrow, you will guide them through intelligent systems. The medium changes, but the mission remains. As I said, AI is a tool. See, use it as a tool in order to strengthen the legal process. The librarians are always essential. We keep the learning. We preserve the local knowledge, is very important. Our contextual framework as a nation. Lead yourself responsibly, and then we can shape the future together. Then I say, artificial intelligence will not replace the law librarians. Rather, it will elevate the importance of those librarians who understand how to use it responsibly, critically, ethically, and intelligently. This is what AI is going to do for those who adapt and quickly take charge. It will elevate you. You become even more important than you used to. You have always been important, you will become even more important. Because even now you can become a partner in innovation to AI specialists who want to build law applications. They have to revert back to you because you have the data. You have the repository of useful knowledge, and then you can collaborate together to build data analytics solutions. You are the custodian of legal knowledge, now become the custodian of trustworthy AI in law. The future law library will not be defined by the volume of the collection, but by its capacity to connect people with trustworthy knowledge in an increasingly intelligent information environment. So let us approach the future not with fear, but with competence, not with uncertainty, but with preparation. And not as spectators, but as leaders. We have to form it as early as possible to be the one that will lead. So this is very, very important for us if we must all benefit people with the law like custodianship we have been before in the age of artificial intelligence. So you have to be the custodian, you have to prepare for the leadership, and you have to act responsibly in all way possible. These are some of the resources we have for future. This is the one I alluded to every Saturday, opportunity to train yourself, become AI-enabled, irrespective of your profession. We have 3 free weekly programs from 7:30 to 8:30 Nigerian time. And then you have the link, you have the contact, just send a message to that WhatsApp number. They will respond to you with the link on how you can join. And everything is already in the presentation that also will be given to the organizer of this program. And for further consultation, you always welcome. And then I say, let us approach the future not with fear but with competence, not with uncertainty but with preparation, not as spectators but as leaders. So thank you for your attention. God bless the Nigerian Law School, God bless the legal profession, and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Once again, a round of applause to our new Prof. Thank you so much, Prof. It was an insightful paper. I don't know if you had a mind-blowing experience like I just had. Once again, the topic is artificial intelligence and evolving professional roles of law librarians in fostering culture of continuous learning. AI is not replacing the role of a law librarian, but rather it is a collaborative effort. AI cannot replace the human effort. It's a collaborative effort. So with that being said, I don't know if we have questions. Definitely I know we have questions. A lot of questions, contributions, and reaction. Please, someone should help us pass the mic to the audience. If you have any question, just wave your hand. Somebody should please kindly assist us. Pass the mic. Thank you.
research paper. Congratulations, Prof, and thank you for this paper. This is not just a workshop or seminar paper. This is a manual that all of us will be consulting from time to time. We really enjoy this paper. I really enjoy this paper. So before today, I used to use my ChatGPT and I created an AI agent within it. So anytime I had questions, instead of using the general chatbot, I use my agent, which I name as my research assistant. And most time I had problem with prompting. I'm not good at prompt engineering. So I gave him my idea, what I wanted to do. And that chat agent know me and know who am I, where my profile and all this. So I asked him, this is what I want to do. Can you create a prompt for me to ask questions? To generate the prompt. And I'm using that prompt to ask questions with my agent. After getting the responses, I now move to Arena AI for comparison. I have so many chat models there that I make comparison. Before I draw my conclusion, then I use my human intervention to verify and check. But with what I learned today, I got a better way to do that. So, sir, I want you to evaluate my process, whether it's good. My second question is, most of these databases now, they have like chat AI agent attached to the databases. Can we take whatever responses we are getting from such agent as correct? That's my question, sir. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the comments and then also for the question. I really appreciate it. Regarding your first question, yeah, your procedure is very okay. Actually, what I recommend is there's a system called Ensemble in AI. Is one of the when you say let data speak. We are data rich in Africa, but we are not insight rich, but we are not yet using AI. A lot of our problems, we can be able to have an idea. It may happen before it happens so that we can quickly take preemptive measures. As they say, prevention is better than cure. However, we are not yet using. One of the systems that is very potent is when you have different machine learning models, let them work together and give you results. That is the best you can have. We call it a symbol. There was a time the very popular Netflix brought out a competition. It's a $1 billion competition. Anybody who can improve their recommendation system by 10%, just 10%, you will give $1 billion. It's not a joke. Groups all over the world came together, they put it, you could get 5%, 6%, 7%, you got stopped. The time was ticking. Group from different countries now brought their heads together. Hey guy, bring your model, bring your model. They put them together in what we call an ensemble, and they were able to beat 10%, got their money, and share it among the group. So it's like the best way to do things, even in humanity. Majority is always better than one individual. This is the best system we are now trying to deploy in the AI era. So in a similar way, when you work on AI as an assistant, I like that you work as an assistant. When your assistant brings something for you, we don't just submit it like, because when something goes wrong, you will not say it's my assistant that produced it. You take responsibility because you are the one that are supposed to do it. Yeah, your secretary can help you, your research assistant can help you, many people can work for you. I like that work, your assistant. That's very excellent. Whatever comes out of it, you take responsibility because you are the professional. So you check it. You can even use another assistant to check another assistant. Like you have a master student working with you, he has done something. You have another PhD student working with you. You give the work of this master student to the PhD student to work to check. Maybe you also detect some mistakes. In similar way, you can use one type of AI either to help you generate prompts. You are using it smartly, by the way. You can generate prompts. Just tell it what you want to do. But what you want to do is not really a prompt. You are just speaking English, okay? Proper engineering will teach you the right words to use to get what you are looking for. So, as a smart person now, you are using another AI agent to help you generate your prompt. That is also fantastically well. You now make this suggestion for the prompt. You can now, because you have generated the prompt, you can give that prompt to another one. Let this one use the prompt to generate something. Take what it has generated to your first guy who generated the prompt. This is what I got. Do you agree with it? You will analyze it. Oh, I can give it 8 out of 10. This is not good. This is good. Okay, can you regenerate in a better way? Generator, you take it back to the other guy. This is what you produce, what we make of it. By the time and with your own knowledge, you look at it. No, I don't want it this way. For example, somebody has come to generate a draft. You have a lot of citations in abstract. There should be no citation in abstract. See, it's wrong to have citation in abstract. Citation can be in the introduction. You say, oh, Prof, thank you very much. You are right. I'm wrong. I will do it again. This is what we are talking about. You are the boss. You are the one in charge. See, if somebody advises you to do something and then you do it and it goes wrong, you don't blame the person who advised you. You take responsibility because you are the one that is involved. So that's why we have to make sure whatever AI generated, we check it very well, criticize it, rewrite part of it if possible to make sure that what you are getting is the idea. And by the time you bring in your own system, I mean, within a few hours, what could be done in maybe 10 hours before you can actually do it. But as a professional, you have to get involved. Criticize it as it's coming up, let it change it. And at the end of the day, because of your input as an individual, or if someone wants to do anything, I have topics I want to cover. What is you brought it? It's not correct. It's not correct. So by the time you are done, put it in the plagiarism checker. 1.0. 1% plagiarism. Because it is your idea, it is your work. An assistant just help you to do what? To do the hard jobs that are there while you take appropriate shot. This is very, very important. And the second question, I will answer the first question. You are doing very fine. Second question was? Okay, thank you very much. Yeah. The last question is, should you trust whatever it does? Never trust whatever AI. That's one of the misconceptions I clarified at the beginning. Never trust anything that comes from AI. Even if you are the one that built it. Yes, you have to double check, is it really correct as a professional? Because this garbage in, garbage out. We train a model, now the model is seeing a totally different data. It may misfire. Some of the most powerful models, you know the characteristics. So, I don't want to mention this so that I don't demarcate any LLM. Some LLM are very strong when it comes to deep thinking, but they hallucinate a lot. They give you fake references that never existed anywhere. So you have a way of doing it. This guy is suffering from. Nobody is perfect. No AI system is perfect. So you use one to check the imperfection of the other. By collaborating, you can get better one. Never trust AI system. It can put somebody in trouble. Check it, criticize, and that's the policy of AI in every institution. Just write something with AI and come and submit as yours. One, it is an academic fraud. Because you cannot give authorship to AI. You are still fighting that one now. Can I say I'm author number 2, AI is author number 1? He said no. It's not allowed now. So when AI writes something and you submit it as yours, you are lying. We don't do that. Ethical usage. So you must contribute something sizable to whatever AI is helping you to get to be able to qualify as the author of what you are actually going to solve. This is where the line is spread. Thank you very much for that.
Thank you, sir, for your presentation. Let me say for the manner. Let me just align myself with you. Why, during your presentation, I just did one flyer with some of your words that I think I would go and paste at the law library entrance so that at least they will know that if they have to embrace AI ethically and responsibly and AI and human, that's a fantastic combination. So now, going back to the traditional way and this AI. Recently, last semester in my school, I and my dean were talking on how to bring people back to the library, because in all reality, people have left the library. They no longer use the library. So I proposed that we should tell them that they should start from NWLR 1985. They should report it and write it with their hands, handwritten. That there's no way they would make it handwritten and they will not at least get one or two things. They should not use AI to write it for them. We want handwritten. We want to go back to the old method. Unfortunately, well, maybe we'll revive it when the school resumes or not. But where I'm having the issue is that, despite the fact that people are running away from the physical library, everybody's relying on internet, the comfort of their home to do their research and everything. How do we bring people back to the library? It's fine. Like what I said, the thing that I want to paste now, I believe that at least it will attract them. And with the help of the dean, if we can go back to this traditional way that, okay, submit a 2 full scan paper report, at least from there they will do it. But I'm sure the problem is that human naturally get tired. So is it that we will not get tired at a point? Are we going to continue? Even if they are doing it, what's the how long can we do it? That might be our whole problem. That might be our whole problem. But the thing is that this AI and human, how do we make it to come together that we will still have people in the library and we will still use the AI, despite the fact that librarians are here to help them? Because the thing is that even if you learn, okay, thank you for this Saturday thing, I'm sure by the special grace of God, I'll key into it. I know that my Saturday night is not engaged. So even if I have all the knowledge to myself, and I'm trying to bring people into it and they are not responding, we cannot force them. How do we go about it, sir?
Okay, I'm sorry, please join me in welcome Prof. Omebu to the high table. He's in our midst. Please come to the high table, sir. Please keep clapping for him until he gets here. You're welcome, sir. You are welcome, Prof. Okay, Prof, you can continue. Sir, you can continue. Thank you, sir.
Thank you also to the questioner. Very nice question. Well done. The fact remains, yeah, the world is changing. The source of information, curating, management, and usage is changing fast. However, I still like the idea of making students to write something with their hand. In fact, it was as if you were in my, I used to have some engagement and daily basis with people. I still discuss this issue. You see, writing is part of learning. Very, very important. When you take it away from, especially the young ones, it's very dangerous. It's very, very dangerous. See? My source of inspiration then when I was talking to some youth was for me to have borrowed a particular word from the Quran. God said, Allah al-insan bil-qalam. God says, I taught man with the use of pen. That when you write, you learn more. So it was a wonderful idea you are bringing back to the law librarian profession. Keep it up. I do it for my students. Just last week they submitted a document. There are some that are going to submit online, but there are some that are going to write by their hand. I have them to watch some videos, and every video, any portion that looks very interesting to you, I want you to have the document for me. That will tell me that they really are doing what I asked them to do. They also have to write some very spectacular information out of it. It's very, very important. When you are writing notes, or you are doing assignment by writing, you are learning it more. I remember those periods when our teacher used to give us papers to go and write as notes. We usually, some people used to give to people, no matter the body. I don't allow people to help me write my notes. By the time I'm done with my notes, I'm ready for the quiz. Because as I'm writing, I'm also studying the book. So it's one reading already, and even one professional one when you are writing. And again, I made it upon myself during my university days, when I finish reading a chapter, I close it and I try to do tests for myself. I try reproducing as much as possible of the concepts. So no question will make me unaware. So I really appreciate that, and we can sustain, especially for the young ones. They need to. We introduce them too early to these technologies. Yes, we are in the Gen Z, we are in the different whatever. Yes, it is true. In one of my courses in my master program, some time ago, one of our professors, people used to call him old school, he will make us to use even those AI to run neural network. He will ask us to use hand to give him the loop, the stages he's supposed to pass through, one after the other. You spend a lot of time, say, I want it. You will never forget those concepts. It's tough, and it will give you at least one in the final exam. So we were all for. People don't like it. Some professors say, use your AI to use your computer to run the code. He said you can run the code, but I want you to be able to do what? To write it yourself. It's a way of teaching our young ones. However, moving further, when technology comes, we cannot ignore technology. That's the reality. Yeah, people can no more use library the way they used to use before. Because if a lot of the new books now, they are not even in print anymore. It is what you print that you can put on the shelf. Then we have database, which is also good. But now somebody can have their own database in their own house online. They are subscribed to it. That is why we have to move also to incorporate. We're trying to preserve what we used to do. We need to incorporate some of the latest technologies. Like what I proposed, like those 5, you hardly see it's a new concept. You hardly see any law library that has that. We have AI curator here, we have prompt engineer here. They are going to come to you. Sometimes you may have to also have physical services provision and also online services, because things have changed. Sometimes I want to teach students, it is raining from 7 till 11. And my lecture is 8 to 12. 2 hours is gone. So I tell my students, because of the rain, please can you log in to this Zoom? I use Zoom to teach them online. I'm teaching a class now, almost 340 something students. How do you grade the quiz, the time? And I do online quiz for them. Through Google Form, put the system there. And they are answering. There's a way to set questions online. It will not take time. They will not have time to be checking the answer intro, because the time is so short. The timing for online exam is different from physical exam. So they all brush. The moment they are submitting, the answer and the grade is done. I just copy it and I'm done. So these are some of the realities we have to know. We get them engaged with some of the digital infrastructures. Some of them can be physical. You sit down in your lab here and you are doing it. We have some set of computer in our laboratory where they can come in. So in our library, they can come in and use some of these AI facilities under our supervision, or online with kind of communication system setting. Simple software can be built that will be kind of customized to a particular law library, that we give also the student a particular sense of, it is ours. We own it. It's not just a general public system, and the AI is integrated in an ethical manner, whereby we can control what they are using, how they use it, and we can train them how to use the system. But for technology, we can't pick them back to the previous system we have. Things are changing gradually. It has its own disadvantages. It also has a lot of advantages. So we have to try to see how we can manage them. But I strongly support the idea of letting them write some things manually, so that they can also benefit from the advantage of writing. Thank you very much.
Please, can we pass the mic to the front? Yeah, in front here. Okay. When you are done.
Thank you so much, Prof, for that wonderful and enlightening presentation. The fact remains that AI has come to stay. AI is a technology that we all must embrace. Law librarians are not left out. We must embrace it. It's a technology that has come to make work easier and faster for us.
So both old and young, we just have to embrace AI. It's something I'm so specific about AI. I like AI so much. So some people criticize it, but I'm in love with AI because AI has been so helpful to me in my work. So my question goes like this. Is it possible for us to integrate AI in our different field of studies? For instance, for law, can we integrate AI into law and we say like AI in law? I will make it compulsory, we'll make it a core course for students to take. It should not be an elective course, a core course. Because when the purpose of a thing is not known, abuse is inevitable. So when these students come to understand it, teach them, like this lecture you just gave now, it's an enlightenment. We come to understand how these things work. So is it possible for every field of study, like in medicine, in social science, whatever, like in law, is it possible for us to have AI as a core course so that they come to understand how to work with the technology called AI to make learning easier, to make them have a wonderful learning experience? That's number one. Number two, I've heard that when you pay, like we have different AI apps, ChatGPT and different AI apps. So I've heard that paying for those using the normal app without subscription, you won't get much out of AI. So I've heard people saying that when you pay to use AI, that you subscribe, you get to benefit more from AI. So is it possible for us as law librarians now to come together? I believe it's not the paid one is not cheap. It's something I don't know how much. Maybe you tell us on that. So is it possible for us to put funds together, like law librarians who pay to get access to the premium AI they call it? Is it possible to do that? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the question once again. On your question one, and thank you also for the comment and the preambles. Having AI as compulsory course, yes, that is the next to do actually. I mentioned my inaugural lecture in January 13, 2026. So titled Symbiosis of Man and Machine. So AI for sustainable development. That was one of my recommendations. When computing came, computer science, introduction to computer became compulsory GST course. I remember I used to teach students introduction to computer science, including law students in my university then. See? But now, then, when you are looking for a job, they say the knowledge of computer is an added advantage. It has changed now. Knowledge of AI is an added advantage. That is the latest. So for sure, we need to incorporate, I boldly recommended it in that particular talk. There's a need to have a general study course for AI, irrespective of your field of studies. That was why I recommend those 2-3-part videos. By the time you watch those videos, share with your friends. You'll be able to, why you can no longer ignore AI. The world has changed, and we need to take quick action on it. It's a must that students should be made to attend at least a course on AI. When they know what is it, how they can benefit from it, then that will make them to be able to, oh, okay, this is interesting, okay, we can do that. Because they don't know the value. And then they get, sometimes when you ask people to come and even learn things to do this, they don't want to come. And that was part of the question the other person actually mentioned. Sometimes when the technology is just new, people don't know the advantage. You see? Like this Saturday program I used to do for girls is 2020-21. Some people, when they just attended last week, I never knew this was happening. Someone told him several times. You know, he say, now when he attended only one time, he said, wow, I've been missing a lot. So when new technology comes, a lot of people, they are not proactive. One of my students, I remember, I was kind of, come and learn this concept. It's not in computer science, by the way. It's another science course, in chemistry, physics. You need to come and learn it. It was dodgy. I gave him a condition. If you don't come and learn it, don't come to my office. It was then, he came around, learned it. Today, in this university, is the second most prolific writer, using AI in the speed of studies. he said, I need to look back. Why was I running away when you asked me to come and learn? A lot of people are doing this. So we need to encourage our youth. Let them, that's why I have that video, why you can no longer ignore AI. Let them watch it and see the advantages they stand to get. But the institution need to create opportunity for them to have introduction to AI as a compulsory course. In some countries, UAE recently said from primary school to anywhere, AI for us, everybody. At our own level, we can start from the university level. At least for now, Polytechnic, College of Education, let them know the importance of it. And the good news is that, irrespective of your field, presently I'm teaching a course on data science for agri for the faculty of agri students, 200 levels, who are so happy. How you can have a lot of information, but you just get your file, the file is there. File doesn't just die, it gives some signs that we cannot understand. Analytics will make you know that this file is not okay. You can be able to take some decisions, either to slaughter it before it even dies. You can still make some things out of it. But once it dies, the blood dries in the body, it's not even good for health. Apart from religious kind of denomination or belief. So a lot of things they can do. You don't wait for the pest to encroach your farm, you do it preemptively. So they are now coming to realize that, and we also believe in our university is AI adoption. So we already had a general training for all staffs, all the academic staffs of our university. So I will move to the next stage whereby every faculty will have special seminars on how to use it for their own area of implementation. Because so that Ajasin University is going to be a #1 point of call for anything that is AI in Nigeria, God willing. So I want to encourage every other institution also to see how there can be online training for them, because sometimes when you put all the students together, maybe the class is not enough. That's why virtual. With the coming of COVID-19, it has made virtual learning a reality. My former university then, when I was working in Saudi Arabia, for more than 3 semesters we were teaching online during the COVID-19. No issue. Fully. Examination, everything. Well rated, supported with AI and some other systems that can monitor the exam. So I want to believe this is another way to go. The faculty say, we have a large number of students, how are we going to manage it? You can use online for them. Students who don't have resources, internet, let them come and sit down in this kind of hall. We provide them with Wi-Fi so that they can connect their laptop, or we provide, even on phone, they can connect and then learn. Together, we can be able to, what I call democratization of AI, making it go round to everybody. It's an injustice if you allow some people to have access to AI knowledge and others do not have access to it. Because it's going to make them to be seriously disadvantaged based on what the world is actually looking into. The second question is, paid AI better than none? Of course, in every system, they release the better option. Just the trial version. You start using it, they say, if you want to do this, like for example, in ChatGPT now, after a few usage, you want to do something, say, you have used your maximum time today. You have to wait for another 24 hours. So definitely, because you want to make money. Except DeepSeek, there are a few also that come, especially from Chinese. DeepSeek is mostly free, declared free. Few are free like that, irrespective of what you do. But they also have limited capability. They will say we cannot do this, but they give you how to do it, you can then do it in another one. So what people do is for institutions or people to come together to subscribe to so number of users they can use. It's a must do. University outside they are already doing it. In the beginning they said don't use it, but now they became it reality. Use it ethically and responsibly. So I believe institution has a role to play by making subscription available. You can even subscribe and let the staff also maybe pay little subscription to use it, so that people don't abuse the usage. Then people see free stuff, tend to abuse it anyhow, and the money, they're coming up with something now in AI. That was a little bit scary. I didn't like that, but then that's what business people want to do. Usually when you buy a software, you're supposed to use it till maybe end of the month, when you subscribe again. But now they send you points. They send you point. For everything you ask question to ask, they are counting your point. Once your point finishes, if it is 10 days after, you can't use it for that month. That's going to be huge money they want to make from people. Personally, I don't like it. But then if you want to make the money big, they are doing that one. So when you subscribe, and let people also pay little for the subscription, it makes them control how they use it because they are committed to it. But it's a must that institutions need to make provision or group of people to be able to have the premium edition that can do the work as it is. But for the meantime, pay the time, a lot of free ones that you can still use, and you can then use hybrid. When this one does little, take it to this guy to check for you, take this also to check, and then as a professional, you do what? You make critical analysis before you say, this is a good one. So that doesn't disappoint you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Prof. Thank you for this wonderful exposition. Very enriching, very inspiring paper. Thank you so much. Now, from your exposition and from this paper, we have seen that AI is sine qua non, something that you cannot do without it for this present period. That's a question I want to ask. No, it's not a question, more explanation and more enlightenment. You can share more light on the ratio, so the ethical principles surrounding AI. This AI usage, the principles surrounding it, is it only the user that is to identify and observe the principles of the ethical principles of using AI? Or does this AI also know, does it know or identify, does it identify certain ethical principles that it follows in generating information or ideas? Thank you.
Thank you very much for that wonderful question again. You see, the AI is as good as the person, the information the person that really put there. That is a non-living thing, you know. So people are asked to try to imbue some ethical structure. But you know, sometimes when money is involved, people tend to compromise that. Ideally, there are some things when you want to do, AI should tell you, hey, this is not ethical, I'm not going to do it. So we are yet to start seeing such, except when you get in your AI and you ask it to be customized. You can customize it. For example, when you buy a new phone for your young teen child, 17, 18, just started using phone, it's highly discouraged to bring all these big phones for junior ones. Very dangerous for their head, for their learning, and everything. But once they are getting to university, 17, 18, 19, give them the phone and add them to Google Family. In Google Family, there, Google has some fun. Want to install anything, you need to take permission from his parent. So by so doing, you can put some kind of check on them until they really know the disadvantage and advantage. AI is supposed to have this kind of thing. That what's your age? Who is searching? Because now people have started using it to search for very bad things. Give your AI to your child to use, start asking bad questions, or bad question pop up, and then it brings out something that is not good. So there's supposed to be some thing that, how old are you? You are under 18, you cannot search for it. It's supposed to be, but some of the platforms, they just want to have, AI is booming, AI is booming, everybody wants to launch their own products to the system so that people can start patronizing them. They don't pay more attention to the ethical aspect of it, even though it's supposed to be. And that is why it's a big research area, ethical AI. So, and responsible usage of AI. This is what I promote in my own. And then I said to my students, don't use AI for things that are not good. A lot of positive things we can use it for. So many. Millions of billions of people are needed to do the work we cannot get. Then why are we taking up the negative one? But some people, you know, that's what I used to say, the only thing necessary for evil to triumph is for the good one to do nothing. So the people with positive mindset, we need to come in on board and see how we can create and ensure that ethical AI and responsible one is being promoted. Unlike just open, anything goes, which we have presently. So you have to struggle before you see AI that's ethical. Although sometimes when you start chatting with your agent, He starts to study you. You don't like something. You don't like something. In fact, once you start using an agent to do something, after some time, he recognizes your religious belief. You see? He will greet you in the way your religion greets. And with time, they start to understand, okay, this guy I'm telling you, they can detect that. Also, when you can be able to train, never allow this kind of thing to come when we are chatting. Never. He said you can also train it to be able to have some ethical inclination. But many people don't really bother to that. But more, the people that research in the area of ethical and responsible AI, that want to be involved, especially the issue of bias, is very, very popular. When you want to train a model, you are training model with a particular type of people. The other group are excluded in the negative side. Bad people, tribe number 1. Only good people to tribe number 2. Whenever you want to run the system, it will identify tribe 1 as bad people. Even when they are good people, that is bias at the highest level, which can lead to a lot of trouble. So we have to make sure we are ethical, starting from the data engineer. That's why I said the law librarian can be the source of the data. When you provide data, you provide balanced data. As you provide positive, you also provide negative. Because the system, for it to be able to recognize positive case from negative case, it must have seen samples of different cases. So that this is what we prevent. Bias is one of the serious problems that AI do face. When you ask questions about a particular tribe, it gives very bad thing about the tribe. You ask about another tribe, it's not because AI is doing it, because the data that the AI has been fed with, and it's very, very dangerous, and also the other negative application, where you make it terrible and difficult for the job. In those days, once you have a picture, the case is easy to, because you can see you. Then it started with Photoshop. It's a Photoshop, we don't believe it. Now, as I'm talking, somebody may be having the same video and saying another thing that I'm not saying here. And you see my voice, we call it deep fake. How is a judge not going to believe when you say, this is the video of the guy? My man, it could be an AI. But the good ones are now building what we call the anti-deep fake. When you put the video in, it will identify, this is a deep fake. This one is original video. Even people that they caught them in a bad place, it's original video. They say, no, it's a deep fake. They also say it is a deep fake, even though it is what? Original. But the AI solution now that is responsible will determine which one is deep fake, which one is not deep fake. For sure, ethical issue is very serious. Thank you very much.
Once again, thank you for the information shared in the course of your presentation. My question is still on the issue of whether AI will take some jobs and the persons involved should understand how to incorporate AI into their chosen career. Now, according to Professor Akungba-Akoko, he's a scientist in the University of New York. In one of his paper presentations, he tried to outline jobs that AI cannot take. And one of the jobs he mentioned is that AI cannot take blue collar job, can also not take visionary jobs, and can also not take education job. Now, connecting it to the law librarianship. Okay, in the course of that same presentation, he tried to explain how AI will not be able to take the jobs of those in that ecosystem. And he now mentioned that the future of education is blinking. Like the future of education is blinking. He gave an instance, just like you said, Zoom. Zoom is an instance of blinking, because your learners are far away and you are somewhere else. Then the likes of things, Google something, is also a way of blinking, which means these students don't come physically to the class, they only blink and they will catch up with the lecturer. Now, the law librarianship is an aspect of that education. So if the future of education is blinking, then what happens to the law librarian? Because the students cannot blink into the library, cannot blink to see the librarian. So if the future of education is blinking, And the law librarianship is 100 because here now, the law librarianship profession is majorly connected to academic library. That's why we don't have court librarians here. Majority of the people here are from academic faculty of law. There is no Supreme Court law librarian here. There is no Federal High Court, Court of Appeal, or even legal institution librarians. They are not here. You only see them once in a while when Nigerian judiciary institution organize law librarianship conference, which is not constant like it is here. Now, this law librarian career is connected to education. Now, if the future of education is to blink to see my lecturer, then what happens to the law librarian when the future of education is blinking? And in the course of your conversation, you also attest to the fact that law library, beyond the law library, even other libraries are becoming empty because of the impact of internet connectivity. And the library is also going online. That's why we have institutional repository and other online database that these students don't have to come to the library to access original information they need, as long as they have the link and internet connectivity. And here we are as law librarians, and the major responsibility is connected to education and a faculty of law. And the future of these students we are intended to serve is blinking. So what happened to law librarians when the future of the education, where the law librarianship is connected to, is now blinking? Is it that we will be bleeding, or we too will just be blank? So what will be the future of the law librarian when the future of the education is blinking? That's number one. Then I also want to throw a little light, maybe that will also help most of us whose law library are also becoming empty, that you struggle to see law students come to use your law library. Now, we also had that experience in our law library. So what we did was to liaise with the dean of the faculty of law, because when your law students don't come to use your library, you are actually wasting resources. You spend money to subscribe for online database from N-Online, LexisNexis, Nigerian Weekly Law Report Online. Now, they have even moved from LAN to online. You must have the two in your library to be able to scale through some situation. Now, the persons you are using this money to subscribe these situations to, they don't come to use these databases, they don't come to use the hard copy, they don't even come to use any of them. So what we did with the dean was that the legal method in level 100 is designed to bring the law students into the law library to have a real-time experience on how to access law report from years to parts like the Falana, Kukoloti, and Galifawemi and others like that trapped in our law library. So we told that, tell the legal method lecturer to transfer the library responsibility trapped in the legal method to the law librarian. So by that, every year we see our law level 100 students come trapped themselves inside the law library. As a matter of fact, we have one question about the entire law library trapped in their exam question. And the classes they bring them to the law library, and we're able to show them the library and turn a question around everything in the law library, including the MOIS. So that becomes part. That was one thing we did, and by that we saw a lot of them come to the library. Then the second thing we did again was that we made the day to let these lecturers from level 100 to level 500 always give them assignments that we push them to the library to use the database from Law Pavilion to LexisNexis. Because if you don't do that, you are wasting the resources. So there is no point subscribing when you know you don't have people to come use them. And by that too, we're able to provide to a solution to the issue of students not coming to use our law library. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the question and some of the offered suggestions. Well, regarding the issue of future of education, yeah, it's a reality. However, the presentation you said made by the professor, yeah, that used to be the system when the AI also started. We used to list a lot of jobs that may go, there are some jobs that may not go. These are just kind of postulations, okay? But the reality of what is, no AI keep developing. I just started again. we are realizing that, yes, some many very less jobs may go. However, but the real jobs, when you say real jobs, collaboration with AI is what we need, actually. What we need. So, in the part that we used to list, this job will go, this one will go, this one will go, it's not really the challenge of the AI. I said that at the beginning of my presentation, Ford, we can start online and second. It's a big issue. Ford Automobile, one of the biggest automobile companies in the world, decided to use AI to replace quality engineers. After a few months, they realized that what they are producing is far from me. Then they started calling those quality engineers. But we made a mistake. We thought AI is going to do the job. A lot of issues have been messed up. That's why we said there is not to be symbiosis of man and machine. That is the real future of AI. That was the beginning. You know, at the beginning also, even when AI professionals, everybody was, it's going to lose job. It's going to lose job. But as research keep coming, we realize that it is those people that refuse to embrace AI, that those who embrace AI will replace them because of their effectiveness. There will be competition. Those who know AI, just like when computer came, people who know how to use computer, they are always given special advantage. Even the job interview, do you have knowledge of computer? Now it is, do you have knowledge of AI? What I don't see as replacing law librarians or any other job, but using it to make you become more effective. And as a matter of fact, there are a lot of statements people have made in the past, but the latest research and reality, like the example of Ford and others, are showing that people that use AI to replace professionals, they are regretting the decision and bringing back the professional. Now professional now will not trust you. Because we train AI for you, you don't want to replace us, we come back now, we train it again. They put a condition that if I'm going to train the AI to make it perfect, if you decide to sack me, this is also billion you're going to pay me. That they will not be able to sack me because they don't have the money, they're going to pay me. You go into contract with them. People are already doing that. But no matter what you train it, they'll still call you back in future that it is misbehaving. It is a machine. You can't trust your life with a machine. It's always has its own limitation. As new data is coming in, human expert is far better than AI. That's why it has to be always be the handshake. Yeah, even though education is now online, yes, we know that. And the future of librarians, it is perfectly okay. If I've answered some questions, there's need to make deliberate effort to let the student come to the lab, to the library, to do some work. I agree with that. Most of what AI will give you doesn't give you cases of Nigeria. Did you have cases of Nigeria in the ChatGPT and DeepSeek? Most of the cases are highly recorded there. See, maybe in your library, you will not see it there. So you need to give students, I agree with your position, that idea, give them deliberately what will make them to visit the physical library to do something. Write with their own hand, we say that also, to let them also learn how to really learn the real sense of it. However, no matter what you do, we have to try to bridge the gap. We encourage them here. We also have our library. I've just suggested 5 new roles that we can bring upon the law librarians. These students will also need the service of those people. What can be done physically and can be done online. You have a solution that your student has a credit or a login ID to log in, and law librarian will be there to chat with them to provide the needed guidance. The world is changing. We can't say they must all be here physically for everything. We encourage especially the young ones to be physically present, while as they grow, you have taught them what to do, how to use AI ethically, then they can exploit from any part of the world they are actually located. So it's not a Nigerian problem, it's a general problem. But the good news is, with so much examples, we thought AI was going to replace people, but the fact remains now, people replaced are being called back. So please come and work. We made a mistake. And that is reality. And that's why I made that proposition, symbiosis of man and machine. So that when you go to the clinic, you have a well-trained machine learning model on millions of data sets that can quickly diagnose a very critical disease. But the doctor is the one that will take the decision. Which of the drugs should I use? This woman is pregnant. You can't use this drug for her. AI cannot do that, as the case may be. You use his own human judgment to be able to Again, a life is saved, not by the AI, not by the doctor, by the combination of the doctor and the AI. This is the future of AI. Professionals and AI solutions have to work together, not one replacing the other. Even as a matter of fact, the government policy also has a way to go. I mean, in some countries where they automated benzene selling this petrol station, some countries, some states in the US deliberately forbid automating it. They want somebody to be there to come and sell for you because they want to keep the job of these people. Because everybody cannot know how to use AI and become AI engineer overnight. Deliberately, government policy has to preserve some work as a policy. It's being done in other climes. But facing the reality, we have to know that the world is changing and we cannot afford to be left behind. We have to balance between the physical and also the online. But we have to have online system. With these 5 roles I've identified, let us see how we can bring it to our law librarians, and then we can engage our students both physically and online. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you, Prof. Really appreciate your presentation. It was thought-provoking, and I'm sure a lot of us, rather all of us, would have something to take home. Like one of my colleagues was talking about, oh, practically everybody was talking about having to invite students to the library, the need for them to come, to be able to use what we have used millions of naira and sometimes dollars to make available in the library. One of the things that I do in my library to make the students come is I give them assignments, especially the 100 level students. I don't know what happened to use of library. Maybe it was an NEC directive or CLE directive. Now it has been removed from the curriculum. It used to be for 100 level students, especially the law students. We teach them how to use the law library because, of course, they don't bring them from whatever secondary school they are coming from. So it was an opportunity for us to acclimatize them with what they would expect in the law library. But suddenly, it was removed from the curriculum. So, however, now that what I do is I input it into the English for legal writing. So I tell them to go into the library, pick between 1 and 20 to 30 books. Pick them, see, give me the comma, give me the subjects and all of that. But then we have another problem. When they are done with the assignment, you know that the library is done. Because they will pick the books from those shelves, put them somewhere else, and then for you to put the books back, you will spend like 2 weeks, a month to put them back on the shelves. But I think that is expected just for the ones their first semester. And then to make them still come to the library, what we do is they have some assignments, especially their 400 level. They go into the library and then they pick law reports. They give them assignment to do with their notes and all of that. So they get used to the library apart from the physical or rather the online thing that they do. They still have to go to the shelves to pick out those things. But I want to say that we don't really need particularly to tell them or to force them to come into the library. Because, okay, we have the law pavilion, we have the online, we encourage them to use them on their laptops, on their phones, in their hostels or wherever they are staying. But if we have the internet, that they can still have to come physically to the library, they will come. If we have power, a lot of them, they will come and charge their power banks. They must come. So even without telling them, pull them to the library, they will have one thing or the other that will bring them. They are technology savvy. Give one of those kids, give them a phone that you have been trying to use for the past 2 years.
they will analyze it to the extent that you don't want them if they were the one that manufactured it. So they are there. We don't need to physically force them to come. They will come when they need those things that we make available. And as law librarians, they know we have those things. They would come ask questions. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for those comments and then perspectives. So yes, so the aspect that I personally like is the aspect of letting them write some things manually. Recently, I encourage it and I really like it. And you just made a very nice suggestion. One of the ways to bring them, we did it just recently in my laboratory. So to use the first step, we made generator available in the laboratory. We are planning to install solar once we have the resources. But at least now, they always put on generator. You will even be begging them that the place is cool. Because you want to come and charge their phones, you want to. So when we have great facility, infrastructure available, students will be available on campus, actually. They will come around. And because of the benefit they want to take, they will be able to do what? To take benefit of those kind of stuff that we have. But then, like I said, both online and physical, we try to see how can we balance it. But the reality is changing. The world is going digital. We are moving on digital economy. So we need to be able to make our law librarians also to be available digitally. They can consult us digitally. The simple system can be built, and the student can just click, make a request, I need to consult, and somebody will be available. That's the job is being done in their right and appropriate atmosphere. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Prof? Okay. Go ahead, man.
I just want to make a quick comment that about this law students not making use of the library. It's I don't know what is happening now. Well, maybe I'm old, I'm out of the system. But when I was still in service, I know that students do make use of the library because of, at least here, when they are given assignments, they have to come and check the cases in the law reports. Yes, you have online, they have online, but the majority of them, if they don't look at the physical copies, they are not satisfied. And then with AI now, what I noticed with the jurisdiction I am in now is that people don't trust AI 100% like the professor said. They still come to check the citation in the library. And that way, they get to use the library. My grandchildren, they go to the library at least twice a week to go and check something the teacher told them, if they have seen on AI, but they still go to the library to go and cross-check. So I don't know. Maybe it is laziness. I don't know.
Okay. Prof, thank you very much for your presentation. I just want to plead with us to plead the patient to learn. Yesterday when I saw the topic, and I was told that Prof would be the person to handle it, I had to cut off a lot of meetings to be here. I would have loved to be here at the beginning, but thank God enough, I've got the paper, I'm going through it. So please, what you have just said within 1 hour or two is what some of us paid 25,000 naira to partake in order to learn AI and become AI certified. 25K. Yes, and we have to do it every 8 o'clock in the night for 1 week, including Sundays and Fridays. When you stop learning, you start lagging behind. I'm a professor maybe of 20 years or more, but I want to learn every day. Last year, I went to Harvard online. I did a course on copyright, Harvard Law School. And then I discovered why Harvard is Harvard and Harvard is not UNILAG or UNN or Great Effect. We finished the course for 3 months, and they gave us questions to answer. My staff is here, as you knew what happened. The question you have to answer will be for 3 days. And you are permitted to use any book you want to. Go online, even use AI. But for 3 days, you're going to struggle with those questions. And once it is 1 hour or 1 minute past the 3 days, you're not able to submit your work again. And it was graded though. And those who passed were given certificate of Harvard Law School. So I am Harvard Law School certified copyright specialist. Yeah, but why I say that is that I'm still learning. So when I heard that this gentleman was coming to talk on this AI, I said I'm going to leave European University of Nigeria, Abuja, where I'm working now, to come over here to learn, even though I have some certification on that. What they are giving us is a lot of food for thought. But let me encourage us, or let me challenge us. He made a comment, and the comment is a call to leadership, whether we'll act, whether we'll lead or react. And the challenge is for us to move from our normal role of custodian of legal knowledge to be custodian of a trustworthy AI application and usage. That's a big challenge. I want to thank you, sir, because you gave us 3-4 practical steps. Go back to your library and see whether you can begin a faculty librarian consultation. Go back and see whether you can have a weekly AI clinic in your library. And the students will be there, the staff will be there. Go back and see whether you can address the issue of hallucination, because it's a serious matter. You know, if you write a PhD thesis and one citation is wrongly put there and they cite for it and they can't find it, it's a fraud and it's a scam. So that ethical checkup is very key. And sir, I want to thank you so very much for outlining the role, a major role for us. And then we talk about AI prompt specialists. These are some of the things I was taught. And then verification architect and curator of hybrid learning system, ethical editor of AI-generated material, and database steward, legal database. These are roles we must ask ourselves, how do we fit into them? That will provide us the leadership we need. The people are not coming to your library. It depends on what is your library like. Where there is no light in the whole university, there is no light in the library. Why should they come? When I was the university librarian of UNN and there was energy crisis, 2009, 2010, I made it a policy, went to the VC. If there is no light in the whole of the University of Nigeria, and there is light in the VC's office, there will be light in the library between 10 and 2. Come and see staff and students in the library. Yes, and Dr. Chiel is here. At the University of the Niger, you don't talk about students want to sit in the library. Make it, yet when you enter the library, you think you are abroad. So if you make the library to be conducive with the light is there, the sitting arrangement is super, internet connectivity is functional, and they have enough time to people will be in your library, especially during the exam period. This does an addition to what Prof has said. But Prof, there are issues I would have loved as a student to say, teach me more. But I don't know whether some guys are hungry now. Yeah, talk about this AI inside rules again. Just a rehearsal to deepen our understanding. Because I understand what you mean because I went through it. But please, if you can deepen our understanding in those areas, and that's the role. The framework, your framework. I've gone through your framework, it's fantastic. Are you the one who developed that model? Yes. Okay. Maybe you can publish it as a model. It's a very solid work you did there. That's number one. Number two is that how do we deal with the legal system in Nigeria accepting AI-generated information? It's a big issue. Because it's still debatable. Even in academics, it's still an issue. And I would like, sir, if you can do me the favor of giving me your AI policy. I think I would like to read it and maybe adopt something from there from the university. Because most universities do not have that policy. And some do not want to have it because they still want to punish students who use AI to generate that information. That's another thing. So the other thing is copyright. For copyright to, and actually copyright to be grounded, there must be ownership of the work being copyrighted or being infringed upon. And in order to be infringed upon, it has to be put in a fixed format, either as a book or as a musical output or something. Who is the author of AI-generated information? And the next one is, how do I cite AI-generated material? Because Harvard Law School told you, use the AI, tell us that you use AI. Now, the issue I had, or the problem I had, was referencing AI-generated information. If you can just throw more light on that, you will deepen our understanding. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you very much, Prof. That's really appreciate your. I was told to be available by the director. So thank you very much, and for even painstakingly listening, abandoning some of your earlier schedules, just to listen to your board. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Yeah. Let me start from Korea. That is last question. That is how we can be able to issue of referencing copyright of AI is a big issue worldwide, because it's yet not allowed to put AI as an author. So it's not yet allowed. And that is why, even when people write policy, some people put it is in a policy we avoided putting percentage accepted AI. So the big debate. So we didn't put percentage. This is anyway. It's because there's no agreement. When you say percentage, it means you are saying AI is allowed to write. You're only looking for percentage. So it's officially not allowed to write. However, it's like having an assistant. You know, there's a level, you can have a lab boy when you are doing your research and does some little things. It doesn't mean that you have to put in as the author. No, you can acknowledge it. And that is why the AI policy is saying at the back of your report, we have a form that you must fill, where you tell us to what extent do you use AI. That is acknowledgement. It's like an assistant board for you, to you, that assisted you in the course of the work. We use it to this level, we use it to this level, and you declare it. So it cannot be cited up to now. That's why it means it's not allowed to use AI to write something and then you put your name. That is unethical. Because you are stealing the work of AI and you are saying it is your own work. It means whenever you use it as an assistant, you need to have your own core idea, your contribution. And like I said, if you use it that way, you will enjoy using AI. You are the authority. If at the beginning, by the time you start correcting, no. Oh, I'm sorry. Prof, you are right. I will rewrite now. You go back again and start searching because you realize the person that I'm doing for is seems to be. If next time it will not give you job, he knows that you are going to reject it, rewrite it, or the one you wrote is better than the one I wrote. Really, sometimes you read something, you just pick your pen or you type. This is it. Oh, thank you. It's better than what I wrote. That is your work you are publishing. You are not publishing the work of the AI. AI can go fast to quickly summarize for you what has been done. Just like you send your research assistant to go and do some work and come back and report to you. It doesn't mean you are going to take the work of your assistant and then start publishing and say it's yours. So we have to own it. That is why there's no reference to AI. So AI does not have a copyright, it's the one that throws it. They will reject that paper that is AI. And AI also has a way. As I said, we have to be careful. Has a way of disgracing those that does that. At different part of the paper, it hallucinates. So there was a paper that was published. In the top journal, I don't want to mention the name of the database, very popular, high impact journal, published the second line of the abstract. I don't understand this place, please check it out. Second line of the abstract. I don't have knowledge of this, please check it out. It means the author did not read the abstract, the reviewer did not read it, the editor did not read it, and they got it published. It was a mess, a kind of a generational contributing mess. Not only one person, the author, the reviewers, the editors, no one, people, it was after publication, people flag it. What is it? If the abstract can contain that, then what is in the body of the paper? You have to recall the paper. So AI also has a way of having such hallucination in the system, putting what is not reasonable there. So, meanwhile, typographical error, it could happen sometimes. I remember there was a case of a student who wrote some very careless word. Luckily, there was no AI during that period. AI has never come. They would have said it was AI generated. You know, when you are trying to use spelling check in Word, you corrected it and then typed it again. When you have this double type, yeah, okay, it was a mistake. But it was AI, this is AI generated. So there's still not copyright for AI, but then there will be an acknowledgement at the end of your report. Now the university is going to adopt it. When you submit your thesis, then you can put acknowledgement, you fill the form. There are questions that will be asked. What level? What this? What did you do? You criticize everything that is out of it? Then it will be attached and they will check it. And then it will be accepted. I believe that is the last question from us. Then the second one, how to make the law court accept AI generated stuff. If we can still not yet even make our fellow researchers who are the editors to accept AI generated, can no longer be last to accept such a system because of the nature of law. You know? Yeah, because of take time. So, like I said, even basic thing before, when you take a picture of a crime scene, it's supposed to be a prima facie evidence that this crime took place. In the law court, it has to still, maybe it's Photoshop, maybe it is. Now when you have a video of somebody committing a crime, now they say it is deepfake. You see deepfake of some presidents of some country on different chats and social media, doing different things that is not real, that you thought it may be real. So this is a big challenge that AI has posed in that direction. It may be it is still very difficult for you to get the law court to accept AI generated content until when we are able to have a system that is proof checking it, that this is authentic, this is not authentic, before we can then go to that level. And the good guys are trying to build up this, while some people are trying to confuse the system with deepfake. Imagine speaking, Prof, and they show you a video, you are talking, and you are saying something that's not yours. It's now everywhere. And you think the voice is smashing your mouth. It's deepfake. Now we have it, now we can put it in anti-deepfake, it will tell you this is not authentic. Once the level of trust is to that level, then the court will start, okay, once we have a software that is trustworthy, that can say this is wrong, this is not wrong, we can start looking in that direction. Until then, I believe it's going to be a very challenging thing to get the court to accept. Thank you, sir. And the last one on the list is the modern law librarian framework that I proposed. It was, like I said, after I was given the topic, I used to hear law library. I remember I didn't know what to do there much. I didn't just ordinary librarian like normal librarians. When I was doing my research, I said, wow, there are so very important set of people that I said, in this modern age of AI, what can we do? And I came up with this idea where I call the modern law librarians, with roles that are also new, that be the prompt specialist. Now we have prompt engineer. The work they are doing is creating what will be used to get information you need from the AI system. That's the work, prompt engineers. So we now say we can have prompt specialists that people can consult her, consult him. I want to do something, what should I use? Yes. So they can contact you. For sure, I certainly agree that, like our professor also stated, our institution needs to make infrastructure available. It's everywhere. The students are not coming to it, it's not really lot. Some of my lecturers used to complain when I had like 300, maybe 250 students, 120 were coming, I was complaining. They say, okay, you are lucky. In my own class, out of 300, it's like 20, 30. He said, so much like that's why you have 120, 130. I said, it's too small compared to the number. Generally, the students are kind of, some of them are not motivated, laziness, and also education has scam. You know that statement. I tell them that ignorance is the big scam. Okay? Education librarians. You don't have to be the one you are going to provide you with. You can be educated and then you go into your business. The way you do business as an educated person will be different from the one who is not educated. Because education appeals to our mind, develop our mind. So a lot of them are not aware of this. They see education as a scam. So they don't come to campus. They are forced by their parents just to go and study. Imagine somebody studying computer science, 100 level. They said, because I don't care the electrical, so I'm just here. I said, you are just here. The pivot of the world civilization is computing now. And you are lucky to be in that faculty, and you said you are just here. Spoke with him, motivated him. Today is one of the students do excellently well. Went to one university for competition and one of the big winners of that competition. Before it was like, to graduate. No. Before you graduate, you can be solving problems for people. So some of these students needed to be spoken to, needed to be motivated to face their studies and to work really very hard. So a prompt specialist, they can contact us, we can do the work for them. On verification architect, see, in that one, he is a specialist in that respect. So we have every AI-generated legal output should undergo validation. Special validation by this expert that we are suggesting that they should create, checking the source, the citation verification, the precedent, the validation, the currency shares, and the cross jurisdiction. He also may have to use some AI solution to assist him or her to do the work, but he has the underlying knowledge. He can do it better than a student saying he's doing validation. Can you validate what you don't have? You can't give what you don't have. So a verification architect will do the job because they are professional from the beginning. We're also the curator of hybrid learning, where the future is neither fully automatic nor online. Like my previous question. You see, yeah, there's the online. We can't take away the physical. That is reality. The physical learning will still be, because there are a lot of distractions when it comes to online. Yes, but it has advantages. What people are clamoring for is hybrid. Use the online when it becomes necessary. Bring them physically and talk to them. When you see somebody, they used to say in my Ojulorowa, how do we interpret it? Thank you very much. The word is in the eye. You know, when you are talking to someone, you see the facial expression, you know if he's tired of what you are saying or not. You can say, okay, student, you can throw jokes at them, let them stand up, let them relax. But when they are behind one screen, you are just talking to them. You don't know if they are available. You know, they are muted. Some of them people mute and slept off. As a day student during the pandemic, he didn't mute, he was sleeping and snoring in the class. So the online classes has their own challenges. So hybrid is what we always hope for. That is a balance. You do it when it's necessary. If there's rain, heavy rains, you don't bring them up. Even if they want to come, there's no way to come. They don't have cars. Do them online at that point in time, or you got engaged, you don't want to miss the classes, you can still teach them wherever you are through the online. And then notice when they call for online, More students attended more than the physical. So they have advantage and disadvantage, but we don't kick one out for the other. It has to be an hybrid model, and that is the balanced system we have. So the curator of hybrid learning is a kind of an effective learning pathway, which involves AI-assisted exploration, Nigerian guidance, and then database usage, scholarly reflections, which can only be provided by the Librarian of Law. And number 4, the ethical auditor of AI systems, where every AI tools that carry assumption. So the data set contains the bias. Based on your knowledge as a law librarian, you have the information. This is not correct. This should not be there. So you are going to be the one that will ensure that the system they want to build, I mentioned that you can be an innovator partner. We want to start building system for law school. We need you as law librarian to provide the data we're going to use, the resources. So you make sure that what you are providing is the ID chain. So we call it the ethical auditor of AI system to ensure that whatever we are producing is ethical compliant. And last but not least, is the legal data steward. Data is the fuel for AI. By one of my new books, I call it Let the Data Speak. Let the data speak. So when you don't let the data speak, maybe you did data mutilation. When you bring your data, that raw data, use it for modeling, let's see the output. Because something pre-processing, there are hundreds of pre-processing methods. People bring in the data, they do pre-processing. At the end of the day, they are not getting good results. That is what I call data mutilation. You bought a new clothes, you keep washing the clothes. Before you know what is happening, the clothes will become even bad. Extreme cleaning. When you clean your data too much, it leads to data mutilation. And in fact, real life experience. One of this weekly program, Saturday, a PhD student joined like 6 months ago. He started, it was around that time I published this book, Let the Data Speak. He picked it, and he started reading, contacted me to appreciate. He had been stuck with his PhD for a couple of months because he was not getting good results. And that was the only thing preventing his defense. When he read it, he now went back to the original data set. I've seen that a lot. That's why I wrote that book. People got the original data. They did so much pre-processing on the data. The data is no more original data. He couldn't get good results. He now went back to the original when he read the book, and he used the original data and he got the result he was looking for. He defended his PhD like 2-3 months ago. He was so happy. That is the effect of knowing how to utilize the right tools in the right way, not following just everybody's. For example, when you talk of AI, people start thinking of deep learning. It's not deep learning that is answer to everything. You use the appropriate tool for the appropriate solution. When I get the data, I start with simple algorithm. K nearest neighbor, which is show me your friend, I will tell you the kind of person you are. So if you have 10 friends or 11 friends, 7 of them are good guys, 5 of them are not good, we classify you as not a good guy. So majority of those guys are bad guys. That is a simple algorithm. Use it first before you go for deep learning. But people go for deep learning and got bad results. That is, I actually let the data speak. The data should tell you which method is going to work for them. This is a system that can be used. This data, as important as it is, we are proposing that Rule 5, that law librarians should use the legal data steward. You have the data with you, you have the resources, you bring it up, we use it to train our AI models, and then we can be able to see benefit we can take from that place. So, thank you very much, Prof.
Thank you so much once again, Prof. At this juncture, please, Prof, it's our tradition to specially appreciate our facilitators with a little token, a gift. It might not be much, but we want to use it to say a very big thank you to you. Thank you so much for honoring our invitation and for imparting into our lives. Thank you so much. Please put your hands together as my boss, Dr. Akungba, comes forward. Please, the gift. We are going to invite amiable Mama.
A round of applause for Professor. This is a very thoughtful lecture. I allowed it because I know the significance of that topic. And for those of us who are here, when you go back home, just because you have sent it, e-copies to you, and you also want the full paper. You know, we send the PowerPoint, the slide to you, then the full paper is also on your WhatsApp. Just go back and sit down so that wherever they are teaching AI or discussing AI, by the time you read, there is something different they are saying from what you have read this afternoon. Thank you, Professor. A round of applause once again. Thank you, Prof. Yes, as part of our tradition, each time the facilitator presented, we always give a token gift. It is not what we are giving that even matters, but the mind presenting it. So on this note, we want to thank Professor for your thoughtful lecture and for emphasis you have laid on the importance of AI. Thank you very much. May God continue to guide you and keep safe. We always invite you anytime we have a program. Thank you very much, sir.